Hi, I'm Chris Colvin. I'm the founder of In the House, and I'm here with Nita Sanger, who's the COO of In the House. And we are just, in this episode of House Calls, we're just going to recap a discussion we had on our GC Casual Fridays meeting about the role of a legal COO and whether your legal department should consider adopting this role in your own operations. So one key takeaway, Nita, today that I got was that I think there was consensus among the General Counsel and AGCs in the meeting that this was a really important role and that there's tremendous benefits, but that the introduction of this role was really mostly limited to the very large companies, the very large legal departments. And there was a lot of interest in thinking about different ways that smaller organizations, say below the Fortune 100 level, could get creative and think about, well, maybe you don't need a full-time person. Maybe you can just allocate some of an existing member of your legal department who has a little business savvy that could perform the COO role. Or maybe you could even borrow a person a day a week from the corporate COO's office to help you with your own internal legal operations. So I think that was one of the key takeaways for me. What are some of the things that you took away from today's meeting, Nita?
So as we were sort of sharing this with others, what became very clear was that given where the market was now and with so much changes taking place, this was the time for the GC to actually position themselves as a strategic advisor to the C-suite, which is what they need, and then to be able to actually have the business units succeed and basically be able to actually sell more widgets. So that means if they could actually hand over and bring on the COO who would actually do more of the operations of the business, that would be really, really relevant so that they can position themselves where that would be most beneficial for the business and even for the role of the general counsel. And in fact, it was very interesting because one of the people on one of the GCs on the call actually said that this is the time for the GCs to move away from where they're working in the business, which is being very tactical, to working on the business, which is to be much more strategic.
Yeah, I thought that I agreed. That was an excellent point. And when we asked him to clarify, he explained that when you're working in the business, you're sort of in problem solving defensive mode. And when you're working on the business, you're playing a little bit of offense and you're helping to sell more widgets, to mention the term that you used. So I thought that was really valuable. And that also, when you're working on the business, you're thinking in terms of ROI and what is the company getting for their investment in legal resources, which obviously helps with the credibility with the C-suite. And I think ultimately, maybe to wrap things up about today's session, I thought that there was a lot of acknowledgement that this time of crisis is actually a time you might be tempted to get into the weeds and be defensive and just survive. It's actually a time to deputize folks such as a COO type of person to take care of those weeds and take care of those details so that you can be an inspirational leader as a general counsel and really help the business get through this very difficult time and emerge strong in the recovery phase as we eventually get there. So thanks, Nita. I thought this was a great session, and I think we both learned a lot in today's session.
Thank you.